Today on the show, strategy plus action equals the staggering power of 1% better. Great coaches and consultants like you have the ability to change people's lives and transform entire organizations. And your impact can often go far beyond the clients you work with. One of the reasons I love working with coaches and consultants is because of that ripple effect. This show is here to highlight your expertise and empower you with resources and new ideas to grow your business. Welcome to Strategy in Action. Markus Kaulius is on the show today, and buckle your seatbelts because you have some incredible energy coming your way. What exudes from Markus is not just this, I've got some good energy, I'm awake today. No, this energy comes from this place of deep caring for humanity, a deep understanding of his mission in life, which is helping us all just be a little bit better every day, and understanding that that compounds in such beautiful, massive ways, from our health to how we process the world, our relationships, every aspect. I had the good fortune to meet Markus in Brand Builders Group, and we connected a couple of weeks ago on a call, and man, I was so impressed, certainly with the business he's created, but really amazed at who he is, and it just exudes out of him, the mission that he's on, and how much he cares for humanity, how much he realizes that he's here to help everyone else win. And you feel that from him from the second your interaction starts to the very end. And that's an amazing, certainly I want to say skill, in the skill part maybe comes in from being intentional with that, but it's just an amazing quality that you feel from him from the beginning, and you're going to feel it in every second of this interview. He's got some amazing, insights into how his big transformation happened at 16, to how we can all make these transformations by applying this idea of just 1% improvement all along the way compounds to such a great degree, and it touches every area of our lives. I'm so excited to bring this interview to you. Let's jump in. Markus Kaulius, welcome to the show.
Oh man, I'm so excited to be here. So excited to hang out with you again, man. I've enjoyed our time together, and I'm excited to share with the audience, share time with you, brother.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's such a blast. So glad we made that connection from Brand Builders Group and had that call a couple of weeks ago, and just a blast. And everyone watching, listening, you're gonna feel it. I guarantee you, you're gonna feel it in this interview and this short time together. You're gonna want more of Markus for sure. There's just a phenomenal, not just energy and vibe, but the insights that go along with that and his experience. So I'm excited for you all to experience that for the first time. Markus, I'm so glad you agreed to jump in here with this. We're gonna have a blast. I really wanted to talk today around this core idea of what you help people with, which is finding success beyond what we think that is, what we're striving for as business owners, especially as coaches, as consultants, trying to get that thing. And nothing in the world wrong with getting those things and reaching those milestones.
Oh,
but when you can do it with the awareness like that's not the thing, right? Then you can find that fulfillment along the way. And it's way easier said than done, right? Like that's why we need help here for sure. And so I really want to dig into this topic with you because you are helping folks do that. Give us some background though, because this is sort of a new direction, or an extension now of what you've been doing with Magnum and your company there. Give us a little geography there, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I want to highlight the fact that you said awareness, because I love that. It's all about that awareness and just bringing attention to this topic. So what you hinted on, I help high achievers find fulfillment outside of career success. And I think that's so important because so many of us were striving, and I know all the people listening, these are high achievers listening, and we're looking at this goal and we're going after this goal with everything we've got. That's what we've been taught to do from such a young age. Give it all you've got. It doesn't matter. Late nights, work through the night, give up on everything else. And then we reach that goal and it falls apart because we recognize, well, that didn't bring me the joy and the happiness that I was promised. What happened? And then the whole thing falls apart because it's like, well, hey, man, my relationships with my family, my kids, my wife, everything, not doing so good now because I was going after this. And now I got it and it's almost meaningless to me. So it's this concept of bringing awareness. So, no, we have to enjoy the journey. It's not just about this. Reaching this is glorious. So I'm not saying don't go after it. Absolutely go after it. But recognize why you are and bring the people along who you want to bring along. Enjoy this process. Enjoy this journey. But I'm sorry, I got so excited about what you said. I pivoted. What's been happening for me, my journey. For over 18 years, I've been running this beautiful company called Magnum Nutraceuticals. We sell health nutrition supplements across the globe. We sell into over 100 countries worldwide. I've helped people lose over 3 million pounds worldwide. The truth is, it's more like 6 million, but the clinical studies have shown over 3 million. And I love what I do. I just love helping people live healthier, happier lives. And over the last, let's say, decade, I've really been speaking on more stages and speaking into people's lives more about mindset. I've always loved mindset. I've been obsessed with mindset since I was about 15 years old. So I'm coming up on 3 decades just loving Tony Robbins. I'm one of his plats, by the way. I freaking love Tony. And I love what we can do in the mind. Our minds are so incredible. And we use, I would argue, less than 1% of 1%. Because every time I learn just a little bit more about what our brain can do, we're so capable. We have so much going on in our brains that can control so much. And just one little change changes the whole world. It changes everything. It changes your perspective on everything. You can accomplish so much more. You can enjoy life so much more. And it's all in our control. And there's so much of our lives that we go, well, that's not in my control. I let that impact me. I let the government impact me. Taxes. Oh, my family's having problems. Oh, look at what I found on social media. How can I possibly be happy? And when we start focusing and recognizing what is in our control, what do we want to focus on, we can experience so much more life. Wow, I'm sorry. I went on such a rant. I'm clearly just excited to be here and share this time.
No, this is so fantastic because this is the stuff I want to dig into because those are the key amazing insights, right? Those are the things that you're talking about that when you get a new insight and stuff, they're exponential, right? When you can unlock this little piece, it's not like, oh, I'm, a little bit better today. It's like, oh, it unlocks this piece that affects your entire life and it's how you interact with someone else and now how they interact with you. Before we even dig in further though, I want, you're a humble guy and you're, I understand, but I want to make sure that the people understand, like, you don't just have this nice little, little company. Yes, you mentioned how many people you've helped, but I mean, this is a sizable company. Let's talk, success and numbers. We'll do it on your behalf. I know you don't, want to throw it out there all the time, but
thank you. I've been very blessed. I struggle to talk about it myself because I don't like the bragging effect. Magnum, I started this thing 18 years ago. God gave it to me 18 years ago. And I talk about God a lot because he gave me that. I just work here. It's his business. But we've gone from 0 to over 170 million in global sales. And just, it's unreal, just impacting people's lives. And, it's the most beautiful thing to me are these messages and testimonials where someone talks about, like, I was in a really bad place. I was in the hospital. I was on death's door. I lost 100 pounds and it changed my whole life. Not just, oh, I look better. It's, I have a better relationship with my wife and kids now. I can do more with my children now. I do so much more at work now. I'm doing something with my life now. Because at Magnum, it's not just about, oh, take these supplements, take these supplements. We're going to help you burn some fat. We're going to give you some more energy. From day one, I've always been like, yeah, there's the supplements, but then let's create a lifestyle around this thing. So it's not just, hey, I want to help you get abs for the beach, which there's nothing wrong with that. I love having abs at the beach. But it's what you're going to do during the journey. It's enjoying it. And it's what those abs at the beach are going to do for you at home. How much more attractive your wife is going to be to you. How much more your kids are going to respect you. Not because of the abs, but now I've got the abs. I can throw my kids up and down and I can play with them. I have the energy. I can sustain that. You sleep better at night. You have more energy for the people around you. And ultimately, you become a magnet for better people in your life. People are magnetized to you and drawn to you because they want some of what you have. What do you have going on that's making you so special and amazing? Yeah. Did that sum it up?
Oh, big time. And it's such an interesting parallel too. We're talking about these exponential skills and that is right on track there, because you bring up, it's not about just looking better, like the health and getting that fixed, and even the physical changes as well. That's another exponential result. Like that's the physical manifestation of it all, right?
Oh,
so it is this, yeah.
I love that. And so I talk about this all the time. I use the word compounding, same exact thing, the exponential, the compounding. This idea of, yeah, this one thing just isn't one thing. And when you add this other thing and you've learned these two new skills, you've learned these two new mindset techniques, it's not now just 1 + 1 = 2. It's literally 1 + 1 = 7. Because now it just starts to put you on a whole new path for life. And then as you're on this new path for life, you're like, well, I'm going to pick up this skill. Oh, now I want to do this. And what's so beautiful about that path when you start going on a better path, all these amazing things start happening. You start recognizing, hey, if I started to tweak this part of my life, that would also help. You're just on a better path. Whereas we've all experienced, unfortunately, the downward path, that negative spiraling down where it's like, oh man, now I can't get off the couch. Now, you know what? I used to drink once a month. Now I'm drinking 3 times a week. The same thing can happen when you're going the other way. Just you pick up this skill and you pick up this skill and just you become addicted to the growth and you become addicted to surrounding yourself with great people, which is why I wanted to get on this call with you. I wanted to get on that call with you 2 weeks ago. I was like, there's another amazing dude. I want to be around that guy. I want us to feed off of each other.
Yeah. And I think this is the hard part, right? Because I hope people get this excited when they either first learn about this, when they get a little insight and get better at it. I hope they get this excited, but it really is the challenge for all of us who share this kind of insight with people and try to help people through this, is that there is so much that is intangible until you experience it, because it's so different for each person. So I can't tell you you're going to meet this person down the road because you feel you can't get into that, and yet you and I know that's the kind of stuff that happens, and it just it happens because you're on this exponential path.
Oh, I love that. So what you're bringing up is one of the reasons I talk so much about celebrating your wins, and I mean even the tiniest wins, because you and I both know, stay on this path, and the people you're going to be introduced to, the people that are going to be drawn to you, the crazy things that will coincidentally happen to you. There's no guarantees, of course, but I can't even explain to you how great it's going to be. So what I try and teach people is celebrating the little wins every single time. So stay on this path for 2 days and then look back and go, okay, what are the things? Oh, you know what? The fact that I got up this morning at 6 a.m. and got a walk-in, that's a freaking win. Yes, that felt so good. And my energy was so much better today. And you know what? I was in a better mood today and I treated people better today. That's a win. Take 5 minutes to celebrate and go, wow, that's good job, Marcus. Yes. those wins, those little celebrations, we release the serotonin, the endorphins, this wonderful feeling that I'm actually addicted to. So I'm looking for wins 24/7. But now this is one of my favorite parts of my life. When I introduce that concept to people and I go, listen, you want a cheerleader? You want someone to celebrate with you? Please reach out to me. Reach out to me. And I'm saying this to everyone who's listening right now. Can you reach out to me and go, hey, Marcus, I heard you on that podcast. It was amazing. And I celebrated a win. This was my win today. I would love to cheer you on. And the fact that I'm going to cheer you on, I'm going to reach out to you and go, oh my goodness, I'm so proud of you. That was amazing. I know that's going to release more endorphins, more serotonin, more of these things. And all of a sudden you can be like, oh, I want more of that. I want to reach out to Marcus next week. I want to give him more wins. Now look at what happened. You're looking for them. Your brain is looking for them 24/7 without you having to think about it now. And you go wins, wins, wins. And look at how glorious that is for my life, because I got all these people going, wins, wins, wins. I get to celebrate 24/7. That's why this happens. I love this, and I love this journey, and I know you guys will too. So I'm hoping if you take nothing else from what I've said today, celebrating the wins, celebrate some wins today. Put a challenge on yourself today to go, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for a walk today, 20 minutes after work today. Just 20 minutes. That's all I'm going to do. And then celebrate the crap out of it after those 20 minutes. How do you feel? You know what? Felt good to have some blood flowing. I've got better energy now. You know what? I got into a real good conversation with my wife or my kids because I wasn't so exhausted and I just went and sat on the couch and hit the Netflix for the next 6 hours. That's a massive win. Celebrate it.
I love that so much. And then, start being that cheerleader for others. Exactly what you just invited people to do, like you start feeling that and then be intentional with that. And that is what happens. And I want to take this little detour because you brought this up of like this is how this happens. Right. And I'm sure people have that question a little bit, I want to dig into some hows and how you're helping people and all that, a whole lot. But let's take a moment here. And where does this, Marcus, come from? Where does that, you mentioned being interested since, 15 in personal development. And I know from experience, 18, 19 years old, similar boat, right? Like learning this stuff and it's a compounding like you talk about. Where does this energy and entire flow and excitement, where does that come from?
Oh man, thank you. Beautiful question. My first 16 years sucked. So my energy comes from experiencing it the other way. Like I tried it the other way. I focused on negative stuff. I come with a pretty crappy backstory, which, you know what? Everybody has a backstory. It's what you do with it. Backstories are so awesome if you embrace them. And I'm sorry ahead of time for anyone who's like, yeah, but you don't understand how bad my backstory is. You're right. Your backstory might be crap, but that's the most exciting part. You can use that for your fuel. It doesn't have to be your anchor. So for me, I grew up in a home that was a very unhappy home. They had already pretty much split, but at 7, they divorced. My mom and dad divorced. It was a freaking super ugly divorce, which I don't think there's any great divorces. And then I kind of lived without a father for a lot of years. He was busy doing his thing, created a new family. And I got to see so much sadness that came from being a man with a boy without having a father. My mother, God bless her, she had to go back to school full time, work full time. She didn't have time for me either. So I had no mom, I had no dad. That sucked. And I was incomplete. I was sad. And it was around 60, it was at 60 that my life took a drastic change. So 16, now I'm 6'4.5" at 120 pounds. It looked awful. It felt awful. I got bullied so hard. Shocker. Girls did not look at me. Shocker. And on my father, he had a new family and he invited me on a trip with them. God bless him for that. And I'm going on this trip. I didn't really want to spend time with them, but hey, I hadn't had a trip in a decade, so I'm going. And I remember God speaking to me and saying, hey, where you're going, no one knows who you are. You could be someone totally different. And I felt it. All I had to do was act different, be that different person. And we all know what that looks like. If I said to you, everybody listening, tell me, show me, what does it look like to be, if you were 10 times more confident, what would you do? Instantly, you got a chest pain. Yeah, that's right. I'm Mr. Confidence. And that's what I did. I got off that plane and I was Mr. Confidence. I walked up to the cool kids and I'm like, hey, I'm a cool kid too. We're hanging out. I walked up to girls. All the girls wanted to hang out with me. I was like, what is happening? Nothing had changed. One day ago, a girl wouldn't look at me if I set myself on fire. Now I'm got multiple girls wanting to hang out with me. I'm like, all I did was change this. And that changed my life forever. And so that was it. That was the pivoting point. I recognized the amazing power we have over our lives. You can change everything. Now, I know what I'm making it sound so easy. And one of the hardest parts is the next step. When I came home, nobody knew that I was a cool guy now. Nobody knew that girls should be looking at me. Nobody knew that bullies should not be looking at me. So I had to make some major changes. I had to make some real communication to everybody in my life going, hey, this is the new me. If you don't like it, with all due respect, you are now in my past chapter. If you want to be in my new chapter, awesome. I want you there. But if you're going to be like, remember when you got bullied last week? Remember when they noogied you? Remember when the girls? Yeah, that's not going to help me. So you are somebody who wants me to still be a loser. You can have those conversations. And then what happens is you now open up space in your life for the people who are going to support the new you, who go, yeah, I love this guy. Yeah, I love the new Marcus. Let's go hang out. Let's go do this, do that. Let's get ahead in life. But what happens is we so quickly go back into our old ways, hanging out with our old people. And it's like, well, you don't have room in your life. Your life was full of the garbage, of the anchors that set you right there. So you've got to drop some anchors, let those go, and start sprinting the other way. And life will open up.
That's magic. What a gift to have that, to hear that voice and hear that and go, and then do it, right? And go, I mean, it's just the perfect, because you there's no way you could have done that as well without the trip, without the away aspect, right? And
Yes.
and that chance to really transform. And I hope everyone grabs on to this, because this applies to any change you're trying to make in your life. And
Yes.
both of those steps are massively important. You can't do that kind of transformation without both things. Some people try to skip the first one and they just move, right? They just go to the different environment, they cut everybody out and stuff, but hey, the same you is still there, right?
Yes.
And so you need that, I'm going to be this, and making that decision. And one of the biggest things that you did there was, it was a different identity. And that's not, it wasn't a different, I'm going to act this way, because then it's harder when you come back.
Yeah.
But when it's a different identity, like, no, this is who I am. And this person walks this way, talks this way, does these things. And that allows you to come back, as difficult as I'm sure it still is, to come back into the environment. I've struggled with that back and forth, and, going off to college and becoming a different person and liking that, and talking to people who weren't even negative, but just because they were my past, and I would be the old me there. And so for a time, I was just like, I can't be around you. Fortunately, I had really good friends who were like, okay, I'm not having any of that nonsense. You can figure out your own stuff, but we're going to still be friends. Like, okay, cool. But it's such a powerful thing to figure out both of those components.
Oh, I love that. Listen, you brought up two things that I want to highlight, and I love that you're bringing this up. Man, we're in sync right now. I'm loving this dance we're doing. So number one is this change of identity was so good. And I want to spell this out for people, because I think there's going to be some listeners who go, oh, so you just created a character. That's not it. I unleashed what was really in me. Yes, it was a different identity, but it was the identity I wanted. So you go, well, Marcus, I'm just not that confident of a person. Okay, is that serving you? Like, do you like that identity? Do you like being that person who has no confidence? Or is that what other people have forced on you your whole life, and you just accepted that identity? So I'm here to challenge you to go, okay, what if that wasn't the case? What if you could be 10% more confident, 50% more confident? What if you just got yourself on a path of more confidence and just act today with just 10% more confidence? Just that little bit of, okay, yeah. What if I was just a little bit more confident of a person? I don't even know why my camera just backed off like that, but that was freaking meant to be. Am I right? So you're just that bit more confident. And it's this new identity. And that identity, that word is so important because it's who you are. It's not just, hey, I'm trying this thing. How is that going to work out for you when you try? I'm trying this thing and people are like, oh yeah, I'm not down with that. You're not trying that thing in front of me. No, this is who I am. If you don't like this, I like this way better. Like it feels so much better. And then the other thing you brought up, which I love, and it's about sticking with this thing. It's not just a one-time thing. And so this is such an important message because I don't want people going, oh, well, I tried it, Marcus. I tried it for a few days. It didn't stick. So I guess I'm just not good at this. I'll go back to my old ways. I still do this constantly. This is a forever journey. This is a constant looking at my life going, where am I parked where I don't want to be parked? What assumptions are in my life where like, wait, should I be watching Netflix for 2 hours every night? I mean, yeah, it's comfortable and I need to wind down and, I'm a busy businessman, so I deserve some TV time. I think 15 to 20 minutes is actually plenty. Oh my goodness, I just gained an hour and a half to an hour and 40 minutes every single night. Think of how much more I could do with my life. Think about the better father I could be, the better husband I could be, the better businessman I could be. I can change way more lives with that extra hour and a half. So there's constant little things. I'm not perfect. I discovered every single day ways I need to improve myself. So this isn't a one-time thing. This is a new notion, a new perspective to go, I can constantly be improving. I just need to stay on the journey.
Yeah, and I hope that people take the empowering viewpoint of that, which is I can always get better, right?
Yeah.
Not the, oh, well, I'm never going to be there, right? And I think that's a common, I don't know, when you're first in personal development and training, you approach it like anything else. Like I have this thing to do, I'm going to get there, and it's not like that. You're going to get there with your personal development, with your insight, with these things, and it's going to open up the next one and the next one. But you're going to handle the world and your feelings towards it so much better. And it is. It's been a recent shift for me to go like, oh, this just means I get to always get better. Like this isn't ever going to end. Thank goodness.
Yes.
I love that.
I love that. Here's a sentence I probably should have started with today. I am 100% certain that everyone on this planet is capable of 10,000 times more than whatever they're doing right now. I am 100% confident every single person listening is capable of way more in this life. So there's not one of you that, oh, this message isn't for me. Well, I've tried some things. I don't care how many things you've tried. You are capable. And, just because we've got a little bit of this thing figured out, a tiny bit of this thing figured out, it doesn't mean we get to jump and change 40% per day. And I think that's where people get lost a little bit. Like, well, I can't make 100% change in my life. Nobody's asking you to. If you can improve 1% today, do you know how drastic that change equals in a month, in a year? This is, again, going back to the exponential, the compound. It's not 1% per day equals I'm 30% better at the end of the month. It's 1% and it's even more the next day. It's more the next day. This is an unbelievable change in your life. In a year, you won't even recognize the person you were.
So, and I love that is spot on and a great way to reframe things. Let's dig in even more on that. Like with somebody listening, and maybe we've heard that before, right? Like just get 1% better, get 10% better, and it's a little, it's applying math to something you can't apply math to, right? Like it's, in a sense. What's a real life example of 1% better for folks so they can kind of have something to grab onto, like, oh, okay, I can do that.
I love that. Oh, what a beautiful question. And I hope you guys are listening to that. What is this just 1% better today? It's so much easier than you think it is. It's so much more obvious than you think it is. That 1% could be reading 5 pages of a self-help book today. 5 pages. It will take you no time at all. Or going for a 10-minute walk today when you had no walk plan. Look at that. You're 1% better. That's all there is to it. And now that I've just given you those 2 examples, I bet you guys could come up with 100 other ones. How about this one? Instead of going to lunch at some fast food place, you choose a healthier place to have lunch. Boom, 1% better. Just these little things. And now tomorrow, you're just looking for another way to do it. And hey, it's not a horrible thing if tomorrow, oh no, I went back to fast food. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. This isn't just about, okay, now you've got that perfect. You have to keep that perfect. Now you go on to the next thing to improve that. It's not about that. I mean, that's an ideal situation, but zero guilt if you don't perfect everything. This is not about perfection. This is just about 1%. So at the end of the day, you're going to sit in bed and go, was I 1% better? How was I 1% better today? And any thoughts that come into your head, and there will be thoughts that come into your head, well, I can think of 5 ways you were 1% worse today. You're just going to shut that out. You're going to shut that out. Actually, allow me to give you one of my favorite tips on the planet. It's hilarious. This is from my good friend, Anthony Pettis. If you guys remember Showtime Pettis, UFC champion, personal good friend of mine. He gave me this, and I freaking love this. That voice in our head that speaks that crap to us. Marcus, here's what you did wrong today. Here's why you're not that great. Here's why blah, blah, blah. You put an accent on that voice. You give it the funniest accent you can give it. And listen, it's only you hearing it in here. You do whatever you want. You make it hilarious. You hear that voice and you're going to laugh it off. Oh, that is bullcrap. I knew it was bullcrap anyway. But the problem is when we hear our own voice talking that smack, it's our own voice. We're like, yeah, but I'm a pretty smart guy. Maybe there's something to it. Now there's some, Lithuanian. I'm going to use Lithuanian because I'm Lithuanian, so it's not racist. There's some crazy Lithuanian thick accent voice in my head telling me I'm a goof. I'm laughing. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm not listening to that. So then you just come back to, what did I do right? What were the things that made me better? And then again, that in itself, just thinking about that is that celebration I was talking about. Take a second to go, yeah, that actually feels good. I read those 5 pages. I went for that 10-minute walk. Man, this feels good at the end of the day to think about the good stuff. Not just thinking about the bad stuff, not thinking about things that are going to happen tomorrow, but thinking about the good stuff that happened today. Now watch how much better you wake up tomorrow morning and how much more driven you are to just find that other 1%. You know what? I'm going to do a 15-minute walk today instead of a 10-minute walk. Boom. Tonight, can't wait to go to bed to celebrate that win as well. Going to wake up better. You're going to start sleeping better. This is not a 6-month thing. This is literally, you will feel better tomorrow. This is literally in a week, you're going to go, wow, my sleep is significantly improved. My energy every day is significantly improved. You will stumble. That's okay. You're going to go back to no guilt. That voice in your head, ridiculous accent, laugh it off.
That's so powerful. And for folks too that, if they've come to you for help, for instance, that's when you can get even more dialed in to what your 1% can be, because it's going to be in several areas over time. That depends on your goal, right? Like what, you're trying to build your business. Well, let's think about the 1% of that today. And then, that's the benefit of having a coach, someone to bounce that off and really dial that in. But I love those examples that people can grab onto right now, because that's the other part that's, besides just being great, that it is so fast. It is something that is, you see and feel results so quickly, but it's also something that does feed itself. You just start thinking that way, like, oh, I could do this little thing. I could do this little thing. Yeah. And it's addicting. I love this. So, I appreciate those insights on that, because this is the fun stuff, right? Like this is, I don't know, it's just a blast. But I want to understand how you're helping folks now and what that transition's been, not from Magnum, because you're still, running that like a beast in that awesome business. And now you're adding this really purposeful component to get out there and make sure you're helping folks. How is that manifesting?
Awesome. Thank you so much. So right now I'm kind of in this transition. I mean, just like you said, not really a transition. I'm still here at Magnum. I'm still the CEO. I just have more capacity and I want to give more. I have so much love for this world and I see so much brokenness and I want to see people get ahead. So there's a few different things I'm doing. Number one, God called me to write a book and I've written it. It's scheduled for October of this year to be launching. So I'm working towards the launch plan this whole time. One of the things I'm doing with BBG, and I freaking love those guys. The book is going to really impact people. If you like what I'm saying, you've got to pick up this book because I've got 100 tips in here of how to align your life with this. It's called The Energy of Success, the 7 universal principles to help you find more fulfillment and win at life. And that's really what I want to see people do. I want to see people win at life. So that's number one, the book. The other piece that will happen in the next 6 to 8 months is I'm going to have this beautiful new network. And it's going to bring people together. It's going to constantly be giving people these kind of tips, this kind of motivation, this kind of focus. I'm bringing together some unbelievable people. As you can imagine, over the last 25 years in business, I have met some incredible people who will be coming through here. I got to share a stage last weekend with Rob Riggle. I thought that was the coolest experience. I think that guy's such an amazing dude. One of my favorite guys.
Oh, yeah.
Full energy kind of guy. You know, I'm going to be bringing people on who are just going to be speaking to you and teaching you these little things every time to get 1% better, 1% better. And then there's going to be coaches on there. There's going to be mentors on there. And it's really about finding your pace. How fast do you want to become that best version of yourself? And it's going to be beautiful networking. It's going to be real professionals who want to see each other succeed, want to help each other, want to be, you know, your cheerleader and support network so that when you reach the top, we're in it together. And I'm so psyched for that. I'm also doing a lot of talks. I love getting on stage. I love impacting people. When I do these full immersion weekends, when I do these retreats, I got a retreat next month in Mexico. By the time this comes out, it might be weeks away. But I do these retreats. They're absolutely amazing. They're full immersion. You get to spend a full weekend with this guy or 3 or 4 days. And I love those because I know I can change people's lives if you spend enough time.
I love that. How far out is the community? Where does that?
I'm thinking 3 to 9 months. It's tough to say because it's going to be big and I'm building something beautiful. But you know what? The lead up to that community, if you're liking this energy, you're feeling me, you want to get more out of this, come see me on Instagram. On Instagram, every single week, I put out one tip, just like we're talking about right now. One of these mindset tips that will just change your perspective. It'll challenge you. And most importantly, this unbelievable community is already there. You watch it, you leave a little comment, you watch how many of my community just swarm you with love and encouragement and support and pushing you to become that person that we know you can be. That's the community I've created. And these people are just drawn to this community and we just love and we support and it's just awesome. So please take me up on that challenge. Take me up on that offer and just come join us on Instagram. You get a nice big taste.
Awesome. What's the handle on Instagram?
You'll never be able to spell it unless you see it, but it's my name, Markus Kaulius. Yes, I'm Lithuanian.
Perfect.
It's a big mouthful.
Cool. Perfect. Well, it'll be in the show notes, so anyone jump there and then take him up on that for sure. I love this. So, who needs to? I have my answer to this question, which is everyone. But who needs Markus right now to either jumping into to Instagram to follow you, to be ready for that go into that immersion and really be helped by you? Who is that, and what is that best first step, if there's another one besides sort of jumping to Instagram?
Oh, what a beautiful question again, brother. So I agree with your answer that truly everyone needs it, but I'm going to refine it just a little bit because there are certain people I cannot help. That's if you're not ready to be helped. If your mind is closed off, if you're like, no, man, I'm doing it right already. Okay, more power to you. I fully support that. If anything, I'd love to just encourage you with that. I just go, hey, you keep going then. But if you're like, maybe I could even improve a little bit in my life, awesome. That is all I need. I got my foot wedged in that doorway, and I am so excited to be there, to open it up, to open up your life, to recognize how much more you can do with it. And it's no slight on you. This is not like, you're a pretty crappy person. It's not like that. I need way more improvement. I can't wait to see who I become in the next year. I'm not sitting there going, no, man, Jason, I've figured it all out, man. I'm done. Are you kidding me? The more I learn, the more I recognize I know nothing. The more I realize there's so much more to learn. There's so much more improvement I can do in my life. So I can't wait to see the guy who I'm going to be 5 years from now. Because I am one of those guys. Every single day I need at least 1%. And once in a while I go, you know what? This weekend is 5%. Let's go crazy. So yeah, the answer, everybody, but you got to be open to it. You got to open up your mind.
Yeah, and I think you touched on it earlier too. One of the symptoms, I will say, of someone who is in this mode, which does cover so many of us, is that feeling for more. Like we just know we're meant for more, we're built for more. I don't know what's going on, but I know in my soul, I may be masking it, I may be drowning it and avoiding it and looking the other way, but I hear the call. I have that scratch that keeps being there.
Wow.
And I'm not doing it. I'm not doing enough. I'm not even doing that 1%. Like if that resonates with somebody out there, like that's, man, get to Markus, reach out.
I love that. I'd love to expand on that for 1 second. So one of the things I love doing with people is just having them do a self-assessment and go, tell me right now out of 10, where is your life? I mean, as a whole, out of 10, give me a real honest answer. Rarely do I hear people talk about 9s, 10s. Like if we're talking honestly, a lot of people, I'm a 6, I'm a 7, I'm an 8. So let me just take, for example, a 7. So a 7's living a pretty good life. Yeah, I've got some good highs. I've got some lows in my life. I've got some stress. I got some anxiety. Okay. I just want you to think for a quick second. You're a 7. What if I could get you to a 7.5? That's nothing crazy, but a 7.5. Think of the extra joy you're experiencing. Think about less stress, less anxiety. Think about how much better your relationships would be. Think about how much better your sleep would be, how much better your health would be. That's just this tiny little thing. I can get you to 7.5 quickly. Imagine an 8. Whoa. Imagine an 8.5. And that's the exciting part. Like, this isn't crazy talk. This is like, we can make this happen so fast if you're open to it.
Man, I could talk another 6 hours with you because I feel like I just get more energy the longer we go and we talk. I want to respect your time. I think we've given folks some just incredible action steps along with the insights. And we don't always get that. We get like, oh, that's a great idea. How the heck do I do it? I love that you've brought in some real great how-tos and action steps for folks as well. Thank you so much for being on, man.
Oh, brother. Hey, listen, I could do the 6 hours with you anytime, man. I love spending time with you. You're a great guy. I love what you're doing in life. I want to support you however I can. In case you and the audience didn't get this from me, I love serving humanity. I'm here to serve. That's my goal. That's what I've been sent here to do. That's my purpose. That's my why. Man, anything I can do to support you in your journey, I want to be part of it. And the same goes for everyone listening. That's why I'm here. Come visit me, talk with me, reach out to me, DM me, do whatever you need to do to be part of my network. Allow me to infuse some energy, some life into you. I'm so excited. I'd love to be part of that. I'd be honored to be part of that. God bless you guys. And God bless you, G, man. I love what you're doing, man. You're doing great things. You've got great hair, a beautiful beard. I mean, you've got everything set up to be a massive impact on this world. And if I can have just a tiny portion of supporting you to that successful man that I'd known you're going to be, the crazy successful man, the impactful man, the world-changing man, I'd love to be that guy.
Thank you so much. Likewise, Markus, anything you need from me, from my community of folks, anytime.
God bless you, brother.
Perfect. And thank you all for joining us. We'll see you all next time. Thanks so much for tuning in and being a part of this show. If you want help creating authority building video content or even a client generating show of your own, go to MediaLeadsCo.com and let's connect. I'll talk to you soon on the next Strategy in Action.